Alright, so as a reminder, what happened last time, 2 weeks ago, our merry band of heroes have assaulted the Kobold stronghold belonging to the tribe of Golden Salamander. Despite some earlier, maybe not exactly orders, but hints that they may recon the area more, and by doing so they found out that there is a secret backdoor entrance towards the underground portion of the maze. But they have conducted their assault with definitely less manpower that it was like optimally. And as per kinda usual, because I feel that I managed to kill a PC almost every session this campaign. There were some
Wait.
casualties, as it turned out that you had to deal with several kobold troops supported by two pyrohydras. Even though they were kinda swiftly decimated, they still managed to unleash a lot of fucking pain with their breath
Yeah.
weapon attacks. And I remember I fluffed it that way, that obviously you killed the troops presented on the map, you killed the Biohydras, you killed Snar, which was the Kobold chieftain that had access to fire-based powers. And I remember saying at the very end, fluff-wise, that because it was said that this stronghold was pretty big, and apart from this section there was other levels, other portions of the underground city that the kobolds lived in. So essentially how it played out, that you took your stood your ground and held the line as even more reinforcements poured in, and after a massive slog of brutal, bloody, tedious fight. Perhaps, but I didn't decide on that. It's up to your decision. Perhaps even some of you went down again, but you bought long enough time that Green Stalker, aided by Vorver, the head assassin, and members of the new blood team, as I call them. So Goldbane, Hruk, and all of that people gathered at the previous camp you were in. That they managed to assault and literally carve their way through the remaining components, and for essentially a river of kobold blood, the stronghold. Even if you did not kill every single last kobold there, you did enough damage, and the battle was waged with such ferocity that finally the morale was broken, and the remaining kobolds essentially figured out that this might be a big place, but this stronghold can no longer be called their home. So now the hallways and corridors, apart from the fact that they have a fuck ton of bodies and they are turning into rivers of blood, has been cleared of enemies. And while it may be turned into a base of operations for the guild, which will be doing so, there's a lot of work to be done. And now this will be like in general a kind of slower episode, not like such high pace with a lot of combat as before, because we have some bookkeeping to do and some fluff plot stuff to deal with. And a portion of these scenes that we're gonna play, they are happening in a very tight schedule, like window of opportunity, so they are like happening almost at the same time.
Back.
Yeah. For now, we're definitely gonna be needing Coron yet. Essentially, as you remember or not, you have managed to free several members of the guild, or rather of the expedition, because it turned out that the kobolds had several captives in here, I believe Ulfgar Rumnaheim was properly introduced, and despite not too not large amount of screen time and speaking lines, he already showed that he's he definitely fits into the grumbly old dwarf archetype. Uh, However, apart from showing handout, I don't believe Ermir was properly introduced. And I'm gonna say to recognize him, you actually don't need to make a check. And I'm gonna say, even if I didn't specify that in the previous session, I'm gonna say that in some small chit chat, small talk with Goldbane, Hrug, Morza, basically the other Eternal members, uh, that they basically gave like a very brief description of those that are still missing. And Ermir was not recognized but was described as a red-skinned tiefling who, upon being freed, uh, he's obviously definitely grateful, and now that he's free, he's not looking concerned, but instead he has this like confident, almost like a sly smile. Though he will be spending some time rummaging through the loot, through the assembled treasures to apparently look for something that he's missing, perhaps for his own stuff. And also Goldbane and Hrug described him that he basically, the way they said it very shortly is that his cards have powers, or his entire shtick is around using card-based powers.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, so he's a scryer.
Not exactly, even though Harrow technically could fall under that. Out of character, he essentially is a card caster archetype.
So he's Gambit.
Yeah, Gambit or Twisted Fate from League of Legends. That's the
Clear?
kinda. Sorry, what?
I'm just making a League reference, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's Ermir. And while Greenstalker kinda gives you all, basically the members of your group, kinda like a failed stink eye. Like, he's not exactly glaring, but he's definitely giving you a look with, like, you know, italics capital L look. However, immediately upon, like, you know, you guys getting either resurrected or regaining consciousness, and kind of like taking a breather after this wild ride, there's also one more thing that his focus is on something else. And you see that Vorver, you didn't speak with him just yet, and he generally gave you like a very aloof, or rather very composed and reserved like attitude, and it's kind of like hard to read him. He basically wears a very like composed mask, but you do notice that when he sees a specific person in a cage that seems to be not really moving, it's like she seems to be kind of frozen midway, and there is this like onyx black, like very jagged claw-like object stuck, basically piercing her chest. And it seems to be like, you know, motes, glimmers of dark energy are like slowly circling around her. And Vorver, definitely there's like the flash of worry and fury in his eyes. But yeah, those are the things that are like happening kinda around at the same time upon your immediate revival slash awakening. So I see that Cheryok essentially ignores that for now and he focuses on his own thing, meaning that he begins to go around Pyrohydras and beginning the process of looking how to carve interesting things from it. What about you guys? Oh, and also I was gonna say I'm gonna need Coron for now, but we're gonna do the thing with Nero on this session.
Sure.
All right, let's see. All right. Not entirely sure what to do right now.
Do we? Nah, Corin was unconscious, not actually dead the second time, I believe. So, yeah, that'd be that. So, so remind me, what's currently happening around the encampment?
I mean, it's not really yet an encampment, more like inside this like former layer of Pyrohydras and the throne room of kobolds. On one hand, well, on the side, Malgarius is basically like shuffling around because he dealt with the like undead threat and that's basically his thing. So he's like silently observing and making sure that there are no other undead surprises. The other person, Tiefling, you recognize as Ermir, is like rummaging through the assembled treasure piles, looking for his stuff because he seems to like, apart from his like dirty, worn down clothes that he had during the initial travel, it seems that he's missing his equipment. And Ulfgar, Greenstalker, and Vorver are kinda converging near the cage that this person I mentioned described that is like kinda unmoving. You would think that she's dead, but she's like frozen mid movement, like standing upright, and there's this like jagged claw-like object being pierced into her chest.
Huh.
And there are like
Successful.
dark black motes of energy lazily drifting around her.
Sure, could like saunter over there. What's happening here?
This is probably something Corin would have a vague interest in, even if magic is not his forte.
Vorver, there's like this moment of silence as they're like definitely deep in thought. And Vorver, the head assassin, as I mentioned previously, there was this moment that he had this like flash of pain, worry, and anger when he saw her. And then he like takes a deep breath and with a cold, calm voice as he composes himself, he says, I believe my protege is under some sort of dark foul magic, keeping her in stasis.
Clever trick. If they can't kill us, they may as well try and take us out in other ways.
Okay then. Let's hope those are kobold corpses. Oh dear. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yes.
I should probably mention that there are some corpses from the members of the expedition. So like sailors, soldiers, bodyguards. But yeah, seeing that as the minutes pass, they do not get back up. So it's kind of easy to figure out who has the gift of immortality and who doesn't.
That one's with a pro character picture. Mm. All right. So she had like this thing stuck in her, or has anyone removed that?
Yeah, she has this thing stuck into her, and Ulfgar is like, "Alright, does anyone here knows anything about magic? I would take a look at this, but we need to get this place up and running."
Success raises his hand eagerly. Rolls poorly.
Sounds about right.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, kind of saying that you are not in like a middle of combat and there's like no immediate pressure on your life, then I guess you can take your time. Unless I'm forgetting, and there's a rule in Pathfinder that you cannot take a 20 on.
You can take
checks.
a 20. You can take 20. It just takes like what, 10 minutes or something.
It takes 20 times the amount of time, so 2 minutes.
Oh really? Sure. 2 minutes later.
Alright.
I think it depends on. Let me have a quick look if you can actually take 20 and knowledge skills.
Yeah. While you do not have detect magic as a spell, you don't have to have that to figure out that the thing stuck into her, while it doesn't look like a typical magical item, it definitely has a foul aura to it. And if you were to take a guess with your like knowledge of Arcana, then this thing would definitely, among other things, would fall under like necromancy, and now I'm trying to remember some of the like perhaps a little bit of transmutation, or I'm trying to remember which like holding you in place. Actually, what's hold person falls under what school?
Isn't that a charm? That's a charm spell, isn't it? Pretty sure.
Yeah, but what school is it?
Enchantment.
That's it.
Enchantment. The secretly the evil school.
The school of casual war crimes.
However, there's also one more thing as like figuring this out, because you look at this thing, then you look back at the like carved body of Snar that you killed the chieftain. Then you look back at as Vorver said, her protege, even although for now he didn't say her name. And you try to add 2 + 2 and it doesn't give you 4. Meaning that from what you have seen of that chieftain, it doesn't really seem like he had the ability to like wield such magic and create such an item. So in short, it doesn't feel to you that this thing was the Chief Snar's creation.
Actually, no, let me just. I'll also, yeah. I would also be. I'd also be taking 20 for Knowledge Arcana on Corin, which is 24.
All right. For you, Corona, apart from these things that I said, you probably will like get this feeling that after this time that we're focused on this, and then you like take a glance at where your brother is laying, and he's not yet back up.
It is worrying. Corin says he heads on over to.
Isn't Korn dead?
No, he dead and returned. He just hasn't taken off the X yet.
Yeah, well, I can't take that off, so.
Yes, you can.
Can't? I think
No,
you have the
sorry,
access to your token.
Not that one. But I can't take. I don't think I'd take off the giant red X.
You can.
You can.
How do I do that?
That's also
top right.
By pressing the red X button?
No. Like, if you press the square right beneath you, and then the top right next to the colors, there's a giant X.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, there we go.
Alright.
Yeah, I think there's been some time that's passed that has allowed anyone who was knocked out or dead to get up.
Yeah, definitely.
The problem is that we're now just noticing that Azrak's not up. So yeah, Cora's gonna head on over to Azrak and just sort of scrutinize him, just to try and see why he's not up when he should be.
Kick.
Smack.
Okay, essentially when you like get down a little bit, because you share you share blood to a certain extent. You are brothers after all, even if half brothers. And before that, your souls were attached as you were like fighting. So I'm gonna say in this case situation, you have this premonition, like instinct, the gut feeling, that while Azrak's soul didn't return to his body yet, you don't believe this is a work of enemy stand, or rather this is not a work of enemy action, but it's something that he decided. I'm gonna say like out of like your characters, when you were like introduced to the concept of immortality and eternal soul, you do recall that it is an option to not get back up after the allotted time, but instead kinda wander around in like a spectral form, ghostly form.
Is he lost? Get up, rival. Punt.
I had to guess he's exploring the astral plane. He's not coming back just yet. Your rival will have to wait.
Well, Sixers looks around. Didn't we do a damn good job here?
At that, Greenstalker, you see that his eyebrow twitches. I will be conducting the briefing with you in a moment, but for now, Zixus, do you believe, seeing that you might have the highest knowledge of arcane and get a feeling, can we pull this off safely? Yeah, with a roll we would no.
Sure. Do I roll Arcana, or what do you want me?
This time you can make a spellcraft.
Sure.
But you can't take 20 on that, it's just like a
Nope.
We'll
Let's
see.
see if I can
We'll
roll
see
it.
what the feeling will be.
Hey.
Okay, with a 21, you know, and knowing that, because you might ask, and like they will confirm that she also has the gift. She's also eternal. So while, like, even if pulling this out will like cause a massive gash like wound on her chest, like she will still get back up. However, it is worth noting that such a foul magic, when being like forcibly discharged, ejected from the target, it might cause some backlash. It doesn't have to, because it depends if the creator of this thing was anticipating that someone will try to dispel it or just like take it out. So with that 21, you do like say like to take appropriate security measures, like to prepare yourself properly, and then you can like this like pull this out. And while immediate reaction is that there's this like she like gaps, there's this like and then there's this like small spray of blood coming from her like massive like wound in her chest, as she like tries to like grab it, and like crumples like to her, falls to her knees. It doesn't seem like there are like other unfortunate side effects. And you are close enough to like, and others can see if they want to, that Vorver approaches. He doesn't hug her because, while he has some emotions for her protege, he's not that emotional. He has an image to uphold after all. And being an assassin kinda hardens your heart. But he does place a hand on her shoulder. Shenhua, you have returned to us. And she like it my apologies, master. I was it was my failure. She like responds shortly, and while he only like shakes his head a little bit, we shall, and he says, we will worry about that later. For now, you may rest, heal. Yeah, so yeah, also yeah, like she obviously, as per her like character image, like she has this like white silvery hair, basically very like dark floating clothes, very light. Well, if you want to know what she does, you can either like, if you want to either ask her, ask Vorver, or maybe perhaps see if you can like perceive, like maybe see, like try to figure out from a glance like how she's moving, what she can do, or
Success walks up to her, like holds out his small hand. Welcome to the crew. I'm Success. Who are you, new person?
there's this moment Ash like tries to compose herself, because while being immortal is one thing, the ability to feel pain is not taken away from you.
As poor Ostrak remembered when he burned to death in a single charge.
He's toasty.
Mm-hmm.
And
Trust me.
yeah, as she looks at you, you can see that apart from the fact that she's in a little bit in pain, uh, there's also this like natural coldness that she has, and she's silent for a moment, considers her situation, and she only gives you like a very curt, clipped response. Shenhua.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Success,
She
I
only
see.
gives the name. She's like
Mhm.
doesn't elaborate at all.
Mm-hmm. Quite rude. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you want to, you can like either perception or knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge, but identifying what class she is. Fuck it. Well, probably perception. Either way.
Sure.
Yeah,
Let's roll
sure.
that perception.
I think since Corin is standing nearby again to Zix's perception.
Give me a
Identify.
second. Just need to wait an hour and a half.
So,
Okay. You're also good enough to figure out that while she's not fully fledged member of the class just yet, however, she's definitely making her strides and training to become Shadow Dancer. Which, knowing that and hearing that, Vorvar called her his protege, kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's definitely not like gonna be interacting with like anyone on her own volition apart from Vorvar, and she will basically like find a place where she can sit, not maybe a place where there's not like rotting body or too much blood being sprayed.
So, do I need to make a survival check to harvest the Hydra, or
I believe so, because I don't think there are like. Give me a moment. Harvesting monster. Actually, there are rules for harvesting monster parts. Okay, so the DC for that is 15 plus the creature's CR. I believe the Pyro Hydra was. I need to double check because it was either 5. No, 6. So.
so what would the DC be in that case?
Give me a moment. Just wanting to confirm that you do have something that allows you to harvest parts.
I mean, I think that was the idea of his character, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any like specific thing that I know of. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just need to wonder because technically speaking, surprisingly enough, now that I'm checking and reading upon it, there is a feat for harvest parts.
Oh. I mean,
Hold on. Let me double check my feeds to make sure I got it.
it's literally called harvest parts.
harvest part item creation.
I'm just gonna, give me a moment. I'm just gonna read through
Oh yeah,
that.
I got it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Nice. It's another pretty cool feat. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Ah.
okay, so I essentially don't have to like specify fluff-wise which exactly you get. Obviously, you can like have an idea as what you get exactly, but mechanically, okay, this definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so this nicely says like how much you can get like gold worth of items.
Mhm.
So in terms of Pyrohydra, there are two. So I'm guessing you'll be dealing with both of them. So for them,
Yes.
it will be a survival
See,
all heal check DC 21.
Let's see. Heal. Moving
Actually,
over to screen.
this is a magical. Pyrohydra is a magical beast. Trophy with magical affinities is worth 20% more. Actually, it will be like up to you. Do you want to like you are fine with DC 21, or are you just like trying to really go over the top and try to preserve some elements that might have some magical affinity? Because
That depends if I can take a 20 on it, because
No.
if I take a, yeah, thought so. If I take a 10, I get an 18, so I need to roll higher than average in that case. Damn it.
You got
Well,
this.
hopefully here goes
Mm.
something with survival.
Mm.
No, it is bad.
All right. Let's see.
Well, there are two of them, remember? So
yeah, so
you might-
you like still have
Yeah.
like one more chance to.
All right, going for the other one. 20. Does anybody
Aw.
want to aid Cheering?
Success. He did his best.
Yeah,
Moral
I'll be
support
the-
did not work.
When
Mm.
survival.
Yes. You need a 10 or higher.
Oh my god!
Okay, no,
Donut.
Does anybody
Save us.
competent want to aid Cheering?
Hey, shut the fuck up.
I got you.
Goran, do it.
Got you. I got you. I got a 10.
Yeah.
Literally 10.
Alright.
Okay, so I'm
So,
gonna say that basically the first one was too much fucked up. It was
Oh,
basically,
Hold on.
carnage.
Yeah.
It was
Second was
massacred
the
by
one.
Azrak,
No.
Yeah.
while the
Think I
other
messed
one.
up.
Success finished off cleanly, elegantly, with style. What? Rip dude. Hello. Hello?
Are you good now, Simon?
Simon.
Maybe something with his internet or technical issues.
Yeah, sorry, I guess I dropped out for a second.
Alright. Mm-hmm.
Think
Sure.
it went bad. So I'm guessing Coron manages to aid me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the second one, which means
Just about.
CR. Okay, I'm not sure if I understand this like English. Like CR squared, it means like it's CR times 2, right?
It'll be CR times CR essentially. So if it's CR 5 times 5.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, okay.
25.
Oh, okay, that's square. Okay, so it's not doubled. It's okay.
Yeah.
If I remember
forgot, like-
correctly, you can do 5 star.
Okay, so it's
No,
like.
no, maybe not.
Give me a moment. That
5 star 2. Yes, there we go. Yes.
much.
If you use double star, it doesn't show, but if you use 2 stars, you can square in the calculator on the site. Mm-hmm.
So it's
Okay, so it would be like.
250 gold worth of materials.
If it was a CR5 monster.
Yeah, those
Mhm.
are 5 monster. I don't know
Okay,
what CR is.
so it's. No?
No. It's you just multiplied it by to the times 6. You should CR 6 square star 2. Mm-hmm. But yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Or 6 times 6 works as well. I just think it looks elegant, but yes, that's a lot of money.
Okay, so essentially,
Mm.
I leave it up to you, Simon. Cheryuk, like fluff-wise, how does it look and what do you take exactly? But essentially, you get 360 gold worth of materials from the Pyrohydra.
Alright, so
Mhm.
basically he would try to skin as much scales as he can from the creature in order to
Mhm.
make a proper scale mail.
Nice.
Maybe using some of its skin to line the scale mail to make it more fire resistant. Then he would probably dig a bit deeper to see if he can extract whatever gland allowed them to breathe fire, in hopes of making some form of either makeshift flamethrower or extra powerful version of alchemist fires.
Mm-hmm.
So
Alright.
if there are basically wherever they're stored, they're flammable liquid or something like that.
He wants to find the flame sack.
Yeah, the flame sack essentially.
Alright. Alright, yeah. Yeah, okay. So like fluff-wise, it's like up to you. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a moment. Like lost my train of thought. Okay, so around like as I said, like all of this kinda is supposed to happen at the same time, but obviously we cannot talk all at once, so it's kind of like spreading in time in real lifetime, but like in game it's like generally happening in like a very tight window spot. So I believe before we get to loot, before we get to debriefing, I believe we should tackle the not issue but the thing of Donut introducing new character.
I
So
have a very
yeah.
simple, fruitful solution to that.
Yeah, so essentially let's deal with the like questions, you know, like how he joins, if he's in here, why he would like stick with you guys. So like we can like get this like well-oiled machine thingy. So if you have like solutions, ideas, do not go ahead.
I have a very simple, brute force solution, and it's a case of my character is looking for a challenge, and he's just heard that this group of mad lads have have gone in and cleared this place out, completely disregarding any advice.
Orders by
And it's
themselves like complete idiots.
And it's basically just going to go up and say a lot along the lines of, "I'm joining you because you seem like an interesting bunch."
Da-da-da!
What Slime Marpo would have done.
So we can't see his name or HP, but that's fine. Mm-hmm.
It's like-
and that is my entire solution for that.
It's like you are courageous but stupid. I like courageous but stupid.
I like courage, I'm stupid. Let's go.
I came here looking for a challenge, and given the results that you seem to be earning,
Top
looks like
is
there'll
a
be
good
plenty of
plan.
challenge.
So I would imagine you were, because for you to be here, you were also part of the expedition.
Yes.
You had to be, because otherwise you would not found your way here. So I would imagine that Greenstalker found you.
Yeah, that works.
Perhaps along the way. And after just like very briefly checking that you are who you are, meaning that you are a member of the guild, and he basically took along with you because it seemed at that point that they were in a rush, and Greenstalker was looking irritated, mumbling. Maybe not mumbling, but he looked irritated. He didn't say anything, but like, yeah, like fall in line, kill every enemy on the way, and move out, and follow
Yeah.
me, follow us.
Yeah.
All right. Apart from that, we kind of started from the us side, but never mind. So the rest of the party, whom do they see? Who is Nero? Like, if there's anything else in his description apart from what we see on his like item picture and token.
Okay, so well, first and foremost is don't take the image whole thing because it doesn't
Yeah,
have a
but like, yeah,
Um,
in that case,
that's
you can like.
The
give
So-
an
kobolds and devils after us.
So, what you would see of Nero is obviously a tiefling who seems to hold themselves in a very upright manner. They definitely look like some sort of noble. He just seems to emanate arrogance. And along with that, along with just like an immaculate sort of, he's got his leather jacket, but underneath that you can see like an immaculate like chain. If any of you are familiar with materials in character, mithril chain vest.
Maybe.
And attached to his hip on the left hand side is just this really ornate rapier. Like it is obvious that it's worth a lot of money, and b, it comes from somebody with a wealthy upbringing. Other than that, 6 foot tall. He's quite lanky. Somebody built for grace and elegance.
All right. So how do you introduce yourself in character to the party now that you're going to join?
So, assuming that the group at some point sort of gathers up,
Yeah.
Nero will walk on over. And go, I've heard. Oh God, I don't have a voice in mind, so we'll see how this goes.
Where's the British accent? I'm scammed,
Down-
betrayed, bamboozled.
Easy,
All right.
just sounds pompous, and you know what you're talking about.
I sound like that. The problem is I sound like that anyway.
Like more.
I have heard your little band of troublemakers who like to look for a challenge. I wish to be a part of that.
Yeah. What makes you think you're good enough?
Because quite frankly, if I was not up for the task, I would not be asking.
Well, he's got a fancy stick. I mean rapier. Well, it's a pointy stick. It's a stick. Okay. Uh-huh.
Yes, sticking with the pointy end.
I certainly hope he knows how to do that. You do know how to stick him with the pointy end, don't you? I don't think you gave me your name.
I am Nero de Costia, formerly of House Costia. I've been trained. My family trained me in the art of swordplay. I know how to use this.
While you were hunting monsters, I was mastering the blade.
I need to go grab my food. Be right back.
Okay, what a timing! Don't. Of all the times to go pick up food. All right, Simon, could you quickly draw a bowl of ramen or some food next to Nero, because I feel like it's very fitting at this point. Oh my! Thank you. Fucking donut.
Hey, it's important,
Yes, it is. But of all the timings, it's just the funniest shit. All right. Well, donut vanishes. I'll grab some more fries.
Okay, I am back. Sorry about that.
It's cool. Julius went for fries, but I believe he's back.
Oh, yes.
So
Good
go
timing.
ahead. You may continue the scene.
Uh-huh.
I think Nero just saying about being formerly of a noble house and having been trained to use it.
Uh-huh. Well, I want to say yes. My rival, how do I say, Ashrak, to his immense regret, is currently out of commission. So, welcome to the crew. Yes. Uh-huh.
Pleasure.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Now that I'm
So-
thinking about it, I would guess that because normally Eternals are kinda banded together in teams. But I imagine usually there are some exceptions, and I would imagine that Nero might have been an exception, that he was one of these like lone wolves, like working together with like a depending on either situation needed it, but he didn't like have like a specific team on his own. Unless you have a different idea, Donatan, perhaps Nero had someone with him on the ship, but they are like lost, or like he got separated.
It may well be that he's just operating on his own. I mean, Corin will be stepping back anyway, so it works out that they may need a replacement in the team anyway. So
Yeah, I guess you'll have an idea like how to like in character explain why he would like not journey alongside the party.
Yes, you see,
yeah,
Corin
Corin-
ate a really bad salmon, and that's why.
now Corin is a lot better with defending stuff, so he'll just volunteer to essentially stay at the camp and keep guard at the camp.
Okay, well, when someone will find the scroll to summon the Divine Guardian, you will definitely have a drinking buddy. Rather, Corin will have a drinking buddy to exchange war stories.
We finally used the scroll to summon the Guardian. Corin moves 5 feet to the left. What the fuck? He was the Guardian all along.
I guess, as you
I
say,
mean,
he was the
funny
Guardian.
thing is that he's also a spear user with a range, so or rather with a reach. Sorry.
Yes, it's just Corin, guys. It's just fucking Corin. Turn on your camera, Donut. Do it.
It was I'm eating, so
Yes. All right.
So what was your name? Miles Glorious?
I am Nero de Costia.
No, Donut. Do that voice again and stop at the start of everywhere. Nero de Costia.
Nero de Costia, formerly of House Costia.
You killed my father. Prepare to
do
die.
we know of House Kostia?
Oh. Think that would probably be a nobility check.
Nobility or planes, unless this is like a noble demon or other tiefling. No, wait, there are tiefling, not demons, devils. So
It's a human noble house in some faraway land.
Some faraway land. Well, let's see if I get lucky on my nobility check. Nope, I probably don't know who they are.
but as a DM, I'm gonna ask, like, is this like the house is like your creation, like they exist somewhere in here on this plane, this world, or is this like taken from like a canon like setting from somewhere? Out of curiosity?
It was just initially going to be background fluff. I wasn't expecting people to roll fucking knowledge nobility, so it's just
We're coming for you, Donut.
my own little creation. But sure,
Insert gift. Congratulations, you have played yourself.
And I know how it feels to be a DM, Donut, and
that's
just making up some backstory.
so I suppose Chirrut probably definitely does know. It's a small minor house somewhere. I don't particularly know where. Wherever.
Yeah, I only needed to know if this is like something that canonically existed in like a different Pathfinder or D&D setting, or this is like your own thing. If this is your own thing, then yeah, it definitely can exist somewhere in the world, perhaps in like based
minor
around
house,
like the
house.
biggest center of civilization, so with like Dragon Islands or Dragon Knight cities.
What's a really jewelry place? I think it might be Revelry. Possibly. No, I don't fucking know. Regardless, it's a small noble house. Not much acclaim to fame with it, really. But what Chirrut may have heard is there was a bounty issued on there was a bounty issued out by the head of the house on
some
a
devil?
tiefling, on some sort of devil who had kidnapped or replaced his son, and as such, yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. And also, obviously, like the same thing when making initial characters also applies for Nero in terms of like being eternal and whatnot. So he also was vetted. He can't really be like a secret double agent for someone like enemy force against the guild and whatnot.
Yeah, I did.
Agent man.
And out of curiosity, you don't have to like say now. You may like think about it for a while. Like as with Koran and Axrak, like do you have an idea for potential like personal thing happening alongside or not really?
I do, yes. Which I may DM you later down the line. I'll start to
Yeah,
flesh it more out.
It's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the thing for Axrak. I mean, technically, Koran still exists in the world, but like probably Axrak will be the one that like stumbles upon his thing. Daddy coming back with a vengeance. Yeah, but as I said, this is not like I don't need it right now, so
Yeah.
we'll get to that in a while. Okay, so that was main thing. Okay, let's deal with bookkeeping. So, because I dislike math, especially when you take some items and I need to recalculate the total value, we're gonna do it somewhat differently. So from the first loot treasure, I believe you have already taken everything you wanted. So I roughly like rounded it up and figure out how much like loot worth you have. And just a reminder, again, this is because there's no functional economy. This money wealth is used to track how much resources value you have that can be used for crafting and for paying, in air quotes, paying Ulfgar to upgrade your stuff or basically craft you new stuff. So that first loot pile, I divided in for. Wait, why I divided in for 4? Because back then you were still 5 people. So
I do think Shrek should probably still get his share of the money.
yeah, I mean from the first pile, because back then you were all there, so I need to like recalculate that. Okay, so from the first pile, each one of you, apart from Nero, because well he wasn't there, so Cheriok, Zexos, Zilol, Axra, Koron, you can put that much gold.
Oh, nice. Free money.
Oh shit! Come on. Okay, here we go.
And as I said, only a small percent of this are actual coins. Vast majority are like salvage items, general like shit. I mean, who knows? Maybe he will like be upgrading something or whatnot.
No, I'm just meeping over donut.
Okay, so we can add that. I'm gonna delete the handout because that loot is done and over with.